Guide to an easier Wave 15 run on hard siege mode. Let's be upfront, hard siege mode is without a doubt the most difficult content in the game. Wave 15 will likely be a solid brick wall for many players to break past, and with the helmet being locked behind a successful Wave 15 run, I imagine lots of players will be grinding their teeth in this mode trying to get it. For those who are trying and struggling, below are some tips on class choice, support purchases, and miscellaneous things you should be doing to make your run a lot better. First, there is absolutely a class meta in Siege. Sure, a really good player can be successful with any class and perk loadout, but unlike Operations, there is a clear advantage to running certain classes and perks in Siege. The running order for Team Comp should ideally go as follows. Vanguard, Unmatched Zeal, yeah, can confirm. I legit, when it comes to hard Wave 15, I've been getting some pretty bad luck. As far as like actual, having a good team with Prestige 4, level 25 players, the most recent one I just had, which is very unfortunate, is the Vanguard was disconnected right before Wave 15, which was terrible. So that, outside of connection issues, I'm sure this guide is going to be, the key to breaking through that Wave 15 wall. But yeah, ultimately, if I had to chime in here, I will say even losing out on like 100 points to a failed Dreadnought could definitely be the difference between you and getting extra stims. So it's very, very close when it comes to how many mistakes you can make with resources. It's very close to how quickly you can just realize how much you needed some points that you probably gave up. Also objectives as well. But yeah, okay, obviously Vanguard and Unmatched Zeal is very good. There's a lot of extremists. Bulwark, tanking, can stay alive better than any other class. Banner heals and revives are important for the later waves. Run the Prestige perk that restores banner charge upon blocking. Sniper is good simply because of easy access to melt the bombs, which are extremely powerful in Siege. Camo is also good for self-heals and squad revives. Yes, of course, Purification. And yeah, this is why I like Sniper. I definitely want to play more Sniper on hard Siege mode. I just think he feels like he can move around a lot better because of Camo, but you got to make sure you use Camo quick because you don't want to give up too much aggro and then have one of your teammates start to just pull in too much aggro. So you really have to play around that. Tactical. Scan is always nice to have. His updated team perk that restores equipment charge is also a good. Yeah, that's very, very true. The team perk for Tactical right now to get, grenades back every, minute? Very good. Heavy doesn't really excel in anything in Siege, but does good damage and can hold aggro on the Terminus pretty well. Use the team perk that restores health when revived. Yeah, of course, Bonds of Brotherhood. Assault, not surprising to say, is the weakest in Siege in terms of individual strength. He's fine, but he pretty much brings nothing to the table in terms of team support. If you do want to run him, the perfect jetpack dodge build seems to excel here. Yes, I've heard that as well, which is unfortunate. Maybe at least Assault has some sort of build that can provide survivability. And then I've seen some people notice that, since I was kind of criticizing Assault's ammo capacity and everything like that, some people noticed that you should just be in a position to spam gun strikes, and I think that's a fair point. But like you gotta make sure you spam a lot of gun strikes. But okay, let's continue. Holy cow, this is a really, really good guide. Okay. Beyond classes, there are certain support purchases you want to make throughout the run to make things as comfortable as possible. Using your currency efficiently is as important to learn, as you will want to be helping not just yourself, but also your teammates with your purchases. You will want a Dreadnought on Wave 15. Make sure you and your teammates are contributing throughout the run. Do not use the Dreadnought for anything other than Wave 15. Yes, 100% agree. As you will realistically only be making enough currency for one summon, do not summon the Dreadnought on Wave 15 until the moment the Terminus enemies spawn. Then, once you summon, try to fight all around the Dreadnought to give it a chance to kill as many enemies as possible. Oh wait, this is actually okay. Hold on, let's just finish this. The 3 minutes goes a lot faster than you would expect. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the point. Do not summon the Dreadnought on Wave 15 until the moment the Terminus enemies spawn. That's going to be a hard one to just, make sure you communicate this one, I guess, to your teams, because that's going to be a hard one for people to just, understand that one. I feel like once you get the Dreadnought, kind of just want to use it, right? But yeah, Wave 15 Dreadnought was definitely something I was preaching in the PTS and everything. But I do agree 100% that the Dreadnought does go a lot faster than you expect. Honestly, very good to point this out. This is, yeah, a great guide. Don't sleep on heavy reinforcement. The heavy bots do very good damage and last for multiple waves. These are solid for wave 10 and wave 15 as extra backup. Never ever buy guardsman reinforcements. They do nothing. Unfortunate. I definitely tried these once on wave 15 because I had no other idea what I could have spent points on, but maybe I could have just kept that for more stims. But hey, good note. Ammo crates are more valuable than boxes. Someone should be prioritizing spawning one for every sector. Yeah, that takes a lot of communication, but I think ultimately we were running pretty well with boxes until wave 15, or no, not even wave 15. Wave 11, somebody bought a box, and then, yeah, I can understand the importance in that sense. But, I was playing heavy. I was able to get my ammo back, but playing sniper, I would definitely want some, ammo crates. Try to avoid stim purchases if you can, as they are expensive. Rely on your team healing perks instead. Sheesh. All right. Well, unfortunately for me, the player who had unmatched zeal for me got disconnected. So, but yeah, of course, obviously, we would have been in a better position there, 100%. Same as above for grenades. There are plenty of grenades dropped throughout the arena, and yeah, obviously, the equipment recharge perks. Yep, good call. Guardian relics are also generally a waste of currency. Good teammates will get the revive, and you can spend half the currency on stims and clear the mortal wound, so you'll never have to worry about the respawn timer. I mean, I guess that's interesting. Okay, so are you just telling me everything about? Well, I understand grenades and heals, but like Guardian relics and Guardsman reinforcements are traps. But, like, heavy reinforcement's kind of interesting. The heavy bots are really good. I will admit, the heavy bots are definitely really good. I mean, okay, that's fair. Finally, some general tips for team chemistry. Communication is always important. Ping items and players you think should be taking them. Ping Terminus so the whole team knows where they are. Try to establish roles for who buys what from the support station. Some of this can, as far as who buys what, some of that's just, you just can react to what your teammates are buying and then go from there. One should be exclusively buying ammo crates, another dedicated to reinforcements, the third either dumping into the Dreadnought or getting emergency supplies if needed. This is such a good guide. Thank you, poster. Do the side objectives. The extra currency goes a long way. Yeah, definitely. Also, you can keep like a guy just hanging out. If you really can just like communicate in this sense, if there's like one major just kind of walking around, then you can just complete all the objectives at the end without any, any sort of pushback. Any sort of resistance. Try to stay separated around the map. Grouping up will just lead to all of you being overrun. Ping or get on the comms if you need help. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is definitely a good one to keep an eye on for sure. But I feel like keeping separated, that means you wouldn't get the benefits from the banner, you know what I mean? All right, well, let's continue. Keep in mind that the runs are long. Getting to wave 15 will probably take around 1.5 hours. Yeah, an hour and a half. Yeah, it's about that, 100%. If you don't have time for that, probably better that you don't start a run. Your teammates will not appreciate you leaving after wave 10, as the extra slot will not be autofilled by matchmaking, which is unfortunate. Okay, on that sense, I feel like that's why I'm seeing a lot of people do waves 1 through 5 and then leaving. That probably makes a lot more sense. And also, if you jump into hard siege mode, like waves 1 through 5 isn't that bad, but like, yeah, it does get pretty bad at like wave 4. I mean, as far as like what you need for it, you probably should start thinking about making a meta build when you're, completing waves 1 through 5. Lastly, do not feel bad if you're going down a lot. Do not rage quit. Having a lower skill player is still much better than a bot. Remember that bots cannot contribute to support purchases, so if anything, you are at least helping the team by earning currency. Yeah, good point. Hope any of the above is useful for you. Hard siege mode is definitely a true challenge that even the most skilled players will find daunting. With good teamwork and proper strategy, however, wave 15 is very achievable. Good luck, brothers. Yeah, honestly, the room for error for wave 15, hard siege mode, wave 15 is insane. And this was definitely a good guide that I'm glad I came across. Some of these etiquette notes are definitely a good call as far as, who's buying what resources. To be completely honest, I really enjoy buying like the heavy bot. It's definitely cool. I never really thought the guardsman reinforcements were any good, but the thing was, I just feel like I just threw points at them just because I had extra points. And I guess in that sense, maybe that's where I can start to clean up some of my resource management, is maybe I don't really need to just throw points at stuff just because. But ultimately, I do spend 300 on guardian relics. And I guess it really depends. But to be completely honest, I haven't been able to get to wave 15 yet with a full team. Like every time well, to be completely honest, when it comes to wave 15, I've been there twice because there's a lot of hard siege modes that I'm jumping in with like a team that I think is pretty good, and then they end up leaving a little bit earlier than that. Which obviously, when it comes to the time that they point out here for the time that it takes to get to wave 15, it's definitely. That's a good point because they probably have something else to do, which makes sense. But yeah, ultimately, I'm still enjoying a lot of when I'm playing with hard siege mode. I'm having a very good time with it, and I've been jumping back and forth between like heavy and sniper. And obviously, I want to make more videos on siege mode because eventually I will get to wave 15 with a full team, nobody disconnected, somebody will have some healing. It'll work out eventually. But there's a lot of times where I'm getting to wave 15, and this last moment. I lost 100 points to putting points into a dreadnought that we didn't get. So yeah, that starts to hurt in wave 15, 100%. And ultimately, we were playing pretty good, to be completely honest. But yeah, just losing out on one teammate and losing out on some points was all it really took to really make it a struggle to take out an Hellbrute, which we got pretty low, to be completely honest. So like I'm getting to wave 15, like I'm close to it, but as I'm only going to be able to complete it when some of these other hiccups that are happening, whether it's wasted points or disconnects, or just not being able to find level 25 players. Any of that can definitely be a detriment to completing wave 15, 100%. Yeah, let's go into the comments to see if anyone else has anything to clarify or talk about here. But this was a great guide. Heavy doesn't do much. Yeah, okay. So the two top comments were talking about heavy kind of being under talked about here. Bonds of Brotherhood is all I need to say. Bonds of Brotherhood is one of the best perks for siege mode. 100%. Heavy definitely. I would put heavy a little bit above sniper just because of that. But like the meltas, I can understand the sniper getting a lot of meltas. I guess, and not to mention heavy's DPS is really good. But yeah, that's wild. That is. I don't think like some people are taking it like the person thought like heavy was bad for siege mode. I think he just mentioned like it's not like heavy has a lot of utility, which is ultimately definitely still wrong because of Bonds of Brotherhood. So I wouldn't take take that into account too much. That is pretty funny though. A lot of people mentioned this. A lot of people mentioned how the guide kind of did heavy wrong there. From the couple of runs I did, this largely aligns with my observations. Ammo crate has enough ammo for all 5 waves, so get it early to maximize its value. Okay. Guardsmen was something I wanted to test. They don't feel very impactful, but they do provide some bodies that take aggro and give the horde someone else to chase. Whether that is valuable, probably not, especially when every credit counts. Tactical giving extra grenades is great. Scan, of course. And throw a couple free grenades and you will deal with that one quickly. The levels get chaotic when you can't clear one spawn point before the next pops, so fast damage helps. At higher levels, it's almost impossible to clear a spawn before the next one, but the aim should be dealing with them as quickly as possible. Yeah, I keep hearing DPS is king, but it's like you need a little bit of utility because I'm not too sure how much like peak DPS is good, but you're not going to be able to cover waves that are like spawning in behind you and stuff. But okay, this is fair. To me, Vanguard, Tactical, and Bulwark feels like a strong team. I mean, dude, yeah, honestly, sheesh. There's a lot that goes into siege mode. I'm having a great time with it, but like Vanguard, Tactical, and Bulwark does feel pretty good. But if you have unmatched zeal, do you really need the Bulwark? You know what I mean? I guess it depends. But yeah, again, there's a lot of people who are talking about this guy kind of downplaying heavy in the comments, and yeah, which is pretty funny. But ultimately, it's nice to see a commenter who actually kind of bounced off with the guide to see obviously they confirmed guardsmen weren't worth it. Tactical is potentially, I think when it comes to heavy or tactical, when it comes to the importance of siege mode, it's very debatable. 100%. I really enjoy Bonds of Brotherhood, but is Bonds of Brotherhood better than Unmatched Zeal? Probably not. Obviously, the DPS is really good with heavy, but the tactical can potentially put everyone in the position to get more DPS rather than just somebody having like the DPS advantage, rather than just somebody excelling in DPS. Now everyone is just close to excelling in DPS. I don't know. I mean, ultimately, this scan, you have to play around your team with that, and this guy already said you shouldn't play around your team. Well, he said separate. rather than not play around your team. I guess if you guys separate in a point, you can kind of like center a lot of people between you. Like if you're kind of like separated and you're all at a corner in the room, you can kind of get all the enemies in between you guys and then just take them out that way rather than being surrounded, you know? That can definitely make sense. But yeah, ultimately I think it's definitely debatable. Like scan and free grenades compared to Bonds of Brotherhood and peak DPS, it's definitely debatable. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this. I felt like this was a good guide, but when it comes to Wave 15, yeah, it can definitely be like one thing. It's all it takes to really be put into a position where you fail to get Dreadnought, and then yeah, you also probably spent some points you didn't need to on stims. Maybe there's some extra stims that kind of just got eaten because you just used them too early or something. I kind of get that. Regardless, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about that. I still think getting Guardian Relics are good, but maybe they're not. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about it. Thanks for watching.